Okay, so I'm starting to record. If you feel like you want to mute yourself, that's fine. At some point in time, if you have a question, please feel free to talk. Unmute yourself if you do have a question. And this is just going to be informal. Like I said, I wanted to talk to people. I sent out an email that I heard from a lot of people saying this is something that's important to them. They, as Jan was saying, she's running around. She's got 10 things that she's doing. I've been talking to a lot of people that they're just very, very busy, and you know, how am I going to fit all these things in? You know, it's summertime. You know, whatever happened to those lazy, hazy days of summer? Exactly. And it wasn't just for kids. I mean, I remember as a kid having what seemed like the world of time to get things done. And as my children got older and we did activities, you know, it did seem to compress time a little bit, but not so much. It just seems like there are so many things that are pulling on our time and attention these days. And so I really wanted to talk to people about that. And that's why I sent out that email. And I heard from people saying, boy, this is perfect timing because of that. And whether you have children of your own or whether you're involved in activities of your own, maybe you have grandchildren that you're helping with, there just is so much pulling on our time. And so I'm just going to take, this is not going to be a long Zoom, maybe 15, 20 minutes at the most, because again, I know how important your time is. And so if you got the email, there were some things in there that we were talking about, you know, stress with activities. You may have started the year in January writing out, maybe not resolutions, but a list of things. January lends itself to that, starting out anew and having some priorities and things that you want to finish. And we get to June and it's like, I may have started on the first one. And then there's the prospect of being in December 31st or just even August 31st. And all the things that we laid out for the year or even the summer aren't done. Maybe you wanted to walk every day or you know, get out in the garden and pick out all these wonderful foods or go to the farmer's market and just get all the, and they're just not happening. And so I wanted to just talk a little bit about that. Also, if you've changed your food plan because you know that there are certain foods that do well with you, then you know, you want to make sure that you go to some of these like barbecues or graduations or whatever, and you end up bringing your own food, and then people are like, oh, what's wrong with the food I made? And so there's that comfort level in making choices that are good for you. And then, you know, maybe part of that too is you started January hoping that by the 1st of June you'd have a body you thought you wanted to put summer clothes on. And what, you know, depending upon what you wear, whether you wear shorts or capris or swimsuits or whatever, that you feel comfortable in those clothes, because by virtue of the fact that we you know, we live in a warmer climate, maybe we don't wear as much clothes. So we can't hide as much in the bigger baggy winter clothes. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. In traditional Chinese medicine, summer it's what they call a yang activity. So it's kind of expansion and there's growth. I mean, you think about it, you look outside and everything is lush and growing. And so this is a perfect time for us to do activities that are going to help us to grow, whether that be if you're out in the garden growing things, your own who you are, it's a perfect time for us to rise up and grow. It's a fire element. So again, it's just things that are going to help us grow. And we tend to wake up, right? We started a little bit coming out of hibernation with springtime, and now we need to be awake, because that's what this season really brings us to. And so what does that mean? What does that mean to wake up? We wake up every morning, but do we really? You might wake up and it's like, okay, where's my to-do list? And you look at your to-do list and you kind of slog through. And, some of you may start the day with a cup of coffee, or some of you might start the day with a soda. Some of you might start the day with bacon and eggs. But do any of you start the day with getting outside, getting some vitamin D, getting some movement? Do you maybe have a glass of lemon water? Or maybe a nice cup of chamomile tea is really cleansing. The way we wake up, it sets the tone for our day. Waking up now at this point of the summertime, it's going to set the tone for this season for you. You're going to see what's in front of you, what the possibilities are for you. Is this saying anything to you? Is this resonating anything? I don't want to be the only one talking here. I want people to feel like they can say things. Does any of that say anything to you? Yes.
I'm finding this really compelling, because waking up, as you mentioned, and depending, I think waking up also has to do with what happened the night before, how well we slept, how well we prepped for sleep. But this is really speaking to me, so keep going. Yes.
Okay, good. Thank you for sharing that. And you're right. What we do at night. So many of us have a morning routine. Not many of us have what we call sleep hygiene or an evening routine. So as we prepare ourselves for bed, we'll set the tone for the next day. I frequently recommend to people that they actually write down the list of things that they'd like to do the night before. Just kind of bless it, put it away, and go to sleep, and release it knowing that you've done everything you can. And so when you wake up with that knowledge that this is your day. The only, if you want to call it, obligation is to be there for that day. Because even though you've kind of made your checklist and to-do list the night before, when you wake up in the morning, it's like, okay, I'm ready. What is today going to bring? And being ready for that. I am doing a program here, and I'll talk about that in a little bit, but I talk about morning routines, and some of you may have been on my webinar where I talked about certain things you can incorporate in your morning routine. Everything from prayer, meditation, journal writing, tongue scraping, neti pot, cold showers, whatever. Not that you need to do them all, but as you wake up in that morning, it's what one thing can I do that might take 3 to 5 minutes that I can do in my day. And, that's just a great way to start the day, because it's yours. We end up when we go to bed at night, how much of us have we spended giving to others? And so it really can drain us. And so that's why it's really important to fill your lantern up in the morning with some good oil, so that you can go forward in your day knowing that you have been taken care of. Because quite frankly, I can't do your job. I can do my job, but I want to be here to help you do your job. And And so taking that few moments to spend that time with yourself in the morning is going to be really important. I dare say it's necessary. And so that's something I want to be really supportive of with people on, is to really help them be able to wake up with the day. Have any of you set intentions for the summer? You know, maybe you're going to go on vacation. Maybe it's like, okay, I'm going to walk every day, or I'm going to make sure I eat fresh fruits and vegetables every day, or maybe you've signed up for a class or something. Have any of you done that, set an intention for the summer? You can talk. It's all right.
Yeah, I am trying to figure out what I can eliminate so I can not spread myself as thin as I have been.
Perfect.
And you were talking about summer being a more yang time. Well, I feel like have been more yang and need to do things that bring a little more balance.
So you need some more yin activities, right?
Right.
And if you've already been yang and we're in a yang season and that's too much for you, then really incorporating some of those yin activities to touch that feminine side of yourself is going to be really, really helpful for you. So getting in touch with that more feminine, intuitive side. Well, you are already fairly intuitive, so
right.
You know, that can be really helpful for you. Yeah, and Jan said, intentions are amazing. Great idea to set an intention for the summer. She says, I like to set intentions for the month, week, and day based on a larger intention. And that's perfect. You know, and doing these intentions doesn't have to take great periods, you know, like you don't have to sit there and go, oh, get out the spreadsheets and write my checklists and everything like that. An intention can just be, I'm going to walk every day. And that's so that's your intention. And if you say for the summer, that's my intention. This week, my intention is to walk half a mile. My intention for the month, by the end of the month, is that I will have done that 5 times each week, or however. And that's, so setting those intentions is really helpful and empowering to you, because then you feel empowered with your life. You know, if we don't schedule our day and our life, the world will do it for us. And then we just kind of go around with every drift of the wind. And at the end of the day, we feel drained. And it's not so much because we've done so much, but so much has been taken from us. And that's just really, it speaks again to the fact that you need to wake up to who you are so that you can do your job. You know, part of your job can be nurturing or taking care of people, but if you're not taking care of yourself while doing that, then we can't be fully there to take care of them. I mean, I completely agree that we gain much happiness and growth through service and helping other people. But sometimes the person you need to help most first is yourself. And so that's what I want to do, is help people wake up to themselves. I know I'm doing that. I'm a work in progress and continually waking up to who I am. And so I'm doing this little video because I just want to let people know that I'm here for them. I do have a program. Let's see. I have to put the link for the, oops, that's not it. It's called 3 Keys to Awaken Your True Self. or it's Awaken Your True Self, Spiritual Evolution Through Nutrition. That's it. I did a 3-part video series earlier in the year called 3 Keys to Awaken Your True Self. But I'm going to put this in the chat. If you're familiar with Zoom, you know that when you click on it, it will take you out of here and into a browser, but I'm still here. And so no worries if you can't see me, you can hear me. Shauna says her intention for this summer is major decluttering of her house, and that's great. And so that's your intention for the summer. And so then what you do is you set an intention each week. Maybe you spend 15 minutes a day doing this. And so by the end of the week, your intention is to have part of a room clean or a room clean or whatever. And then the other part of, Shauna, that I ask you to do as you set that intention is, how do you feel? So let's say at the end of the summer, you've got the whole first floor decluttered. How do you feel when you see yourself at the end of the summer with the first floor of your house decluttered? And so that's the other piece that I invite people to really look at, is not just set an intention, but add a feeling with that intention. You know, is it freeing? Do you feel like, wow, I now have more time to do other things? I feel like I have more time to be outside, to make the food that I want. Now that I know where my kitchen is, I have more time to do things. So really, you know, and Jan mentions here, I use the word intention versus goal. An intention has a feeling a part of it. A goal is more of an action item. So you can have goals along with your intention, but there's more of an emotional component with the word intention. It puts you in power of it. And you can change it, but really go into the feeling with that. And you know, Paula says one of her main intentions for the summer is to share more about her in the groups she's in, as well as support others. And that's great. That's great, Paula, because as you, again, wake up to yourself, then you are going to have more of yourself to share with others. Amy's retiring, so she's also decluttering seems to be, and I will tell you that planetarily, this is a great time to do decluttering. That we're being supported on that world and level as well, to get rid of things that no longer serve us. And I'm all there and ready to help you too. One of the things that I'm going to be just talking about in my program, it's about our environment. And there's somebody, her name's Bea Johnson. She does something called zero waste. So like, I think she said, this is about a year or so ago, I listened to her on a podcast, and she said that her total garbage through the year is like the equivalent of 1 kitchen garbage bag. The whole entire year, that's what she has to throw out. And so I'm going to be sharing some of the information that I've gleaned through her and other resources. The way my program works is that it's a 3-month program. There are it's June, July, and August. It actually starts on Wednesday at 7:00 p.m. Central Time. We do use Zoom to do it, so it's nice to see you're here and have some comfort level with it. And the first 3 weeks of each month are a group call. And the last week is a one-on-one call. So you get support from me and others throughout the week, because sometimes we feel alone. So we get support each week as a group. but the last week is where you and I get to talk, and I support you more specifically with what you might need, whether it be nutrition, maybe movement. Some of you are aware of Dr. David Weinthal, who does Qigong, and he's agreed to do to share with us some Qigong exercises that we can use. So I'm just incorporating these different things each week that will help you to have this really great summer full of the intentions. Bonette says her intention was to do less. So far it's been really hard. And so I would encourage you, Bonette, as you say that, is that your intention is to do less, and but have something specific with what that means. So I'm going to do less by having less activities in my weekly calendar, or I'm going to do less by one of the things we're going to be doing is calendar schedule management, because again, like I said, if we don't schedule our time, the rest of the world will. And so I know many of you are in Dr. Rita Marie's program, and you've been working on your values. And so I'm going to be continuing to support you on this. So like Deborah she's going to be in my program that starts on Wednesday by virtue of her being with Dr. Rita Marie. And so we're going to be going over what is our value, what are our priorities, and then how do we put that into action with where does that show up on the physical world in our calendar? Because we can say, like Bonette does, I'm going to do less. But how are you putting that into play in your life? And so that's what this summer is going to be. It's going to be a summer of small successes for you. I don't want to say it's a summer of success, because it is a summer of success, but it's going to be your successes with your intentions. And does anybody have any questions? Because I know I said that I was only going to do this for about 20 minutes, because I know y'all are busy. And I honor the fact that you have schedules and things to do. So does anybody else have any questions? What are your thoughts on this? Does this speak to anybody? And Laura said her intention is to do more, but she's doing less. So Laura, as you create your intentions to do more, what does that mean? What are you going to do more of? And again, the summer is a yang season, and so it's that season of expansion and growth. So this is a great time to be doing that. So does anybody have any question? I can hear you.
This is Beatriz. It says Bonetta on the screen, but that's my email. So this is Beatriz.
Okay.
No, I don't know. Obviously, I didn't sign in properly, and that's by the way, Bonetta is my family nickname.
Beatriz.
So,
yes, from Dr. Rita Marie. Oh, I see you.
From Dr. Rita Marie.
Yes.
I think what you're saying is awfully important for every female to learn starting at about age 14. I really do. Mm-hmm. And I think we should hear it over and over and over again. By the way, I'm the one who had the intent to do less.
Yes.
Because I'm doing everything for everyone.
Yeah.
And somehow this year has been really, really intense in things that I have no choice except to jump in. They help.
Well, okay. You do have a choice, right? You do.
I know I have a choice. We always have a choice, and
yes.
That's why I tell my sons and my husbands and everyone. And my choice at a certain point of what has happened this year is to help. Okay. And I have been offered more meditation classes. That's always good. That's my way of helping. I have been offered meditation classes where I'm not going to get paid, but it's the Cancer Institute. I can't say no to that because I know that helps people.
Yeah.
So it's been an interesting year so far. but your idea about being focused about what I want to do less of is very good. I guess I could start with saying I want to eat less, and
Okay.
that which takes me on a whole other realm. But that's also part of the whole thing. So this is really important for me. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you for sharing that too, because I know what you're saying is going to speak and resonate with a lot of the people who are on here. Because we say, it's like New Year's resolutions. This year I'm going to, and we say it, but then we disconnect ourselves from that. Because what are we basing that out of? We might be basing that out of something we read or heard on a summit or report, and it's like, oh, that's what I should be doing. What you should be doing is what is important for you. And, I don't want people shitting on themselves. And I want them to be, I want them to be who we are. We are human beings, not human doings. And if you wake up in the morning and you're choosing that day to do these things for people, that's okay. And I understand simply because that's who I am. I wake up in the day. But if I don't take, and it happens frequently, if I don't take time for myself, then I give from an empty vessel. And so this is really important for people to wake up to, is you cannot help people if you are an empty vessel.
That is true.
So anyway,
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. And so now I get to see you. I hear your voice so frequently. Now I see you. That's fun.
And now the face, yes.
Anybody else? I'm sure many of the people on here are going, that's Beatrice? Oh.
I'm always around. In fact, when I miss the things that Dr. Rita Marie has, or the lectures that you've had before, it's because I'm off working. And my work as a meditation instructor isn't really from 8 to 5.
Right.
It goes sometimes late at night, and on Thursdays usually all day long.
Yep.
So I'm very happy to be here today.
I am too. I'm very grateful for that. Yeah. Anybody else have any questions? If you want to, they're on that link I gave you there in the chat. And I'll put it here again. Yeah, Jan says she remembers you from Dr. Rita Marie's first Before Begun.
Oh, yes. I remember her too.
I'm sure. Yes, Jan is a dear. So on that link I gave you, while explaining something about my program, there's also a link in there to schedule time to talk with me. So if you have questions about whether or not to do this program or anything, just click on that link and schedule time to talk with me. And that's important, June. June says, my intention is to make room for more of what I want. That means for me to get rid of the excess and clutter is to make room for more. So, but it's what serves you, right? And so again, that's what my program is all about, is creating room for you. Because my job is taken, Beatrice's job is taken, Jan's job is taken. We need you. And sometimes we just get lost in activities and don't know who that is. So, yep, Shauna. Yep. Exactly, Jan. Jan says, Shauna, your comment about lots of thoughts or things about and needing focus really rings true for a lot of us. So, so I'm glad that we've had this time to be here. And whether you've shared vocally or you've shared on the chat, I hope that this has spoken to you. And again, I just invite you to connect with me if you have questions or just want to share. I have a Facebook group, Feeding Your Health. And so you're welcome to come. I know many of you are already on there. And, you know, you can share. So that's all that this was about, was for you to see me. Many of you have heard me with Dr. Rita Marie, or maybe on my Facebook group, or maybe from my emails. But for us to actually, I am a real life person. And for us to not, you know, to just connect. And that's what this is all about. So, all right. All right. I promised I wasn't going to take a lot of your time, but I am here for you.
Thank you, Lynn.
All right.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you,
welcome.
Lynn.
You're
It was
welcome.
good.
All right.
Thanks, everyone else.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
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 Thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Lynn.
You're welcome, Laura.
I can't get my video on, but thank you.
You're welcome.
Let me get out of here.
End meeting on the right. Or leave meeting, I think it says. Yeah. Okay. Bye.
Bye.